my channel, and I'm Sodbuster Living. I actually started this name, this blog, this not YouTube platform, but coming out. This sounds very wrong. That's not the word I want to use. I started my Sodbuster experience. I started becoming a Sodbuster back in the day when my husband and I were living off of a below poverty level income, and we paid off our mortgage payment with it. Our mortgage payment at the time was about $48,000. We were living off of beans and rice budget kind of thing. And Sodbuster Living was started. It was kind of showing little bits of tips and tricks, and the blog was very slow, and we finished, and throughout the whole process I was constantly asked, how are you doing this? And the idea was simply just to use Sodbuster Living as that platform to kind of show you, and it really wasn't very well kept up. I was kind of learning it, and I wanted to present it as something I have learned. Okay, I did this was successful, here you go. I'm since learning that sometimes the process is actually the most educational, or it is in my point of view. I actually learned by watching the progress happening, kind of seeing where you are at the beginning, seeing where you have ended up, and seeing the progress in between. The progress in between is where I actually figure things out, how to tweak them for my personal experiences. Typically when I read big amazing budget or financial blogs or anything, they typically show you where they came from and where they are now. The nitty-gritty in between stuff is pretty much the same old thing when they're talking about it. When you're getting actually walked through month by month, suddenly I got to see, okay, I can't do what they had said here, but I can twist this and make this work for us. And it was through those lessons that I actually learned a lot. And so that's why I'm making these videos. Again, I have been asked a lot how I did this when I was doing it many years ago, and I'm rusty and we need to get back into it. And so that's the idea behind this. So like I said, it's a little bit of a different month because we have 5 paychecks rather than 4. But next month, I'll have some income coming in from a student that I assign. Basically, I get paid for lesson planning for the family. I also babysit twice a week. And as of right now, that's the only income I can count on. That's income I can say, okay, we'll have this for sure. But it's going to be interesting, okay? Because we can't do bean and rice diet. It would be easy to live very frugally, very small if you could do a bean and rice diet. But our family can't actually. We have some gut problems in our family, and so beans is very hard. It's painful for some members of our family to eat. We need to stay away from wheat. We did a freezer meal with a friend. I was trying to teach her how to do freezer meals, and we just did simple recipes, and we ate a lot of wheat last month, and I feel it everywhere, and we've been paying for it everywhere. Not just weight wise. I gain weight, but we have a celiac sensitivity, gluten sensitivity, and possibly a celiac issue. So we need to get back off of wheat because that was not good for us. So that to say, living off of the things that are the cheapest, pasta's cheap, wheat is cheap, bread is cheap, we can't do that. So that's kind of where I am going to show you what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and here we go. I kind of want to actually expound a little bit on that. So the main dishes will not be wheat. I've just learned that over time, though, I have been making more exceptions just to try to make it work. And so yes, you will actually see a little bit of wheat. If that will put you in the hospital, definitely do not do that. as of right now, it will not put us in the hospital, and I'm just trying to stretch things as much as humanly possible. And then I should share with you some income. Here's the biggest tip I can give you. This is something that we figured out how to do it when we got our tax return. So we were trying to figure out how to get ahead, and when my husband and I were just starting out and we're like, we can't get ahead, what we need is just like to be ahead a month, and in order to be prepared for the downfall. And it was saying that just was like, oh, let's do this. And so what we did was, when we got our tax return, we actually calculated, no, I'm sorry, when we got our tax return, we lived off of our tax return for that month, being as frugal as possible. It's not like we, went crazy or anything. We lived as frugally as possible. And maybe for some of you with stimulus checks, this would be the time to do it. Christmas bonuses are coming up, or maybe like my husband, if you have an extra paycheck, this might be the time to really just try to not use it, just really do whatever, sell whatever you can, come up with a month's worth of income. And that will depend on how much you make. But Angela Braniff from, I think that's her channel name actually, Our Gathered Nest, she had talked about during this, very financially crisis time, how she had called her mortgage company. Not every mortgage company will do this, but she was able to call and move 1 month's mortgage to the end of their mortgage loan. So now it was deferred a month, and you could, I guess, do that a certain number of months. So if, again, you got a 30-year loan and you were going to pay off your loan in August 2050, well, if you defer your mortgage payments for 2 months, now it's going to be, you'll pay off your loan in October of 2050. And then just make sure that you're not going to get an added charge onto that. So she said some mortgage companies were doing that. So if that would be the case, this would be another way to do that. And it's just going to depend. If you rent, you're probably out of luck. But again, just those specific things on how to come up with this money, I can only tell you what we did and why this worked so well for us. Because again, all the money that I need to make this budget, that I already made in another video, so now you got to see it all done. To make this budget is already in the bank account. So that was the biggest thing. And we just used our tax return to do this. And that was it. So we lived off that tax return very simply, very minimally, not spending anything that we didn't have to. A lot of times we did that particular month, and since then we've just continued it on. But that particular, when we started this, we did do pretty much a poor man's diet, whatever meatless meal I could make. We did do a lot of beans and rice, and mainly a lot of rice. Just not even doing like oatmeal. We would just make rice up, pour some milk on it, a little honey, and just have that. So there's different things you can do. All right. But all that to say, live off of whatever. Each week, your paycheck or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever it is, you're going to just put that aside. And so at the end of August, all of August's paychecks are now going to be budgeted for September, which is what I did here. Again, if you start in September, all of September's income is going to be set aside for October. And you're just going to live off what you had. If you have X number amount in your bank account, just try to live off of that. All right? Okay. Let's get into making our budget. And I'll try to go step by step in the next clip and show you how to do that. To do our budget, I need to go on my phone and I need to look at how many paychecks we got and how much we have, and then I'm going to put that total right here. Now, I've actually started doing some work again, but because it is not predictable income, it will not be in this month. I don't have any collected income to write down this month, but I will for next month. So I'm going to go do that right now. I'm going to write down the income that I have from August and put it here. All right, let's see how this works. Okay, so the total we got in August was, I don't know what I'm trying to do, a dot. And I know you're supposed to like budget down to the penny, but I'm not going to. And then, so out of this, I also then go to our next main category, because this is what we always do. Now, you can do giving, whatever, but this is something my husband and I find very important, and this is what we do. So, and I also round this up, okay? And then I'm going to figure out how many Sundays are in the month of September. So in the month of September, there are 4 Sundays. And so I'm going to divide that by 4. Sometimes we have 5. And yes, I really do write this out so that way my calculations and my husband's calculations are on the same page. Okay, now I did want to point out that this is a 5-week month, and that is just going to give me a little bit extra this month to work with. In September, I'm going to put this up here because, again, I didn't choose the best month to actually do this video, but, you know, I'll see if I'm on ball about doing it next month, but we're going to be having this amount in October. I'm just going to make a note up here. Oh, and of course you couldn't see that, sorry. So I have a note up there for October, what we're going to be planning with. Now, that'll be my husband's paycheck. Basically, all I have is the hours that he works, and then I just multiplied that by the number of weeks that we'll have, and then I subtracted the amount that's taken out for Medicare, Medi-Cal, or whatever it is, and all of that. We have set up our taxes so that our federal income tax, is not taken out of our paycheck. And that's going to be up to you and your husband, you know, your financial decision. It's something we've always wanted to do and just never have gotten to the point. We just don't make enough for us to pay a lot into it, and so this was better. So at the end of the year, typically we get an X number of amount per kid, and then, you know, a little bit back because of our income is so low, and we just won't get as much this year. And, you know, that is what it is. But this just will really help all of that, basically all of that to say. So, I just really want to point out, this is what we're more looking at with my husband per month, $14.36. But I'll also be collecting September's payments and stuff, and then rolling that into what we can do for October. All right, so we put tithe down. This is what I need to make sure comes out of this every month, and this is what I need to make sure that I withdraw every week when I get our cash. All right, and then the next thing I utilize is actually utilities. So, because these are things that I can't fluctuate. You know, you get the bill, it is what it is. You don't get to say, okay, I don't have enough money, I'm going to cut our electricity bill down. like it doesn't work that way. Okay, so you can label this whatever. Okay. All right, so then we've got our mortgage payment. And my handwriting is terrible in this thing because I am writing. I've got my hands hugging around my camera tripod here, so I think it's legible. I think you can read it, but anyway, we'll have our mortgage. So this one is water, trash, and sewer. It's all lumped together. Hold on. I'm trying to think of all. Okay. Oh, and then we also have, these are all the things that we have to pay every month. I'm going to leave two sections blank because I don't remember anything else, but I want to make sure that I have everything covered. Actually, I'm going to leave 3. So that way, even if I have an extra one, then I still have a space in between that I like to do. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now, let's figure out the household things that we have to take care of every month. So, I'm going to write this down so I remember to pay it, and then I'll explain this really quick. So, again, this is also to make sure that I'm withdrawing the weekly, actually this should be, oops. I'm withdrawing the weekly versus the monthly. So this is, I'm going to put these in a box because I am given allowance from one of my sisters to do things for the kids. So she sends some money every month for us to do this. And so it is not coming out of our pockets. However, these things, again, I need to make sure that they're paid for. So I do need to write them down so that we're aware of this. We're aware that this money is going to come out of the bank account, but it's not coming out of this paycheck. I know that sounds weird, like I should be putting this on another page, but I found that if there's too many pages of things, then I get very confused. And I'm not putting this at the bottom because I need to remember to withdraw this money. This is something new that we're doing, and I need to remember to withdraw that money. So then I'm going to put these down. Alright, the other things that we're going to need weekly are I don't think we have anything else. You might be saying, well, what about your clothing budget? What about this? And what about that? I think right now I'm going to put all of this down and we're going to see what our total is at, and then we'll start addressing those. Okay, I have a slight confession about this one. I totally made that number up. Let me rephrase it. I made that exact number up because I'm not going to dig through the files that we have to find the exact amount because we just paid it. So, yeah, not going to try to do that, but it averages about 35, and I just felt we were writing $35.00. So I just put a random thing. Sometimes it's, 33 something, sometimes it's 36. So I'm rounding it to 35.40 because that makes sense. Okay, so this is done, and I want to use my calculator and just kind of see where we're at money-wise, because again, I cannot negotiate these. This is what it is. Okay, so we have 1180.86. I'm going to just put that number down here. Again, this will just kind of help keep me track, because look at this. If these non-negotiable things are 1180.86 and we're only making $14.36 next month, that is only going to leave me $2.56 for groceries. Okay? So again, if I did not have side income, this would be a problem, because I'm going to tell you right now, what did I say that I was going to have left? We haven't done gasoline. Now, my husband has to drive for his classes, gonna need gas every week, whereas when he was in town, it was like maybe every other week, sometimes once every 3 weeks. It just kind of depends. So we're gonna be looking at $20 every week for gasoline for him, which, by the way, is amazing. In California, it would have been like $30 every week. So not complaining too much about the fact that we're having to pay $20 for a tank of gas every week. So he's gonna need that every week, and pretty much he fills up on Fridays after work. That's just something we've done. We're people of routine, y'all. And so here is the first Friday tomorrow, and we're gonna have about 4 Fridays this September. So I know he's gonna need about $80. And then I have a homeschool group that I drive to about 20 miles away once a week. And so that's 40 miles, and I pretty much go through, and when I say a tank of gas, it's actually, we just leave our gas tanks at half and above. We have been in situations so many times where we have to make emergency trips, and we have been below half a tank both times, and that's just been an extra stop we've had to do in an emergency situation to go to the gas station. And so we've just decided from now on we're just going to keep our tanks at half full and above. So when I say we need to refill, it's because it's hit the halfway mark. All right, just wanted to clarify that. And again, you can call it a tip if you so choose. All right, so I'm also going to need gas every week, and I usually fill up on Fridays too. Thursdays or Fridays, it just depends on my grocery day, because sometimes I can't make it one day or the other. Okay, so we're gonna assume I'm gonna do $80 a week, and then once a month I go up to the big city to do once a month grocery shopping, which is another 20, an additional $20. So I'm gonna need $180, which is about what I've budgeted for. Okay, alrighty, we are pretty much at the negative balance because we haven't even done our groceries yet. I'm curious to see. Actually, curious to see 14 minus $76 for groceries in the month of September, or I'm sorry, in the month of October. That's what we're gonna have. This month, however, I'll be trying to stock up a little bit for, I just need that gone. I'm going to be trying to stock up in preparation for the next month, and that'll be another kind of money saving video that'll be forthcoming here shortly. So let's kind of focus in. Again, I just really want to make these numbers add up. So I'm going to go quickly through and just make sure before I start adding in groceries. Okay, right now I have $424.14 left for groceries. We'll put the 14 cents into savings. You guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we pretty much do 200 a week. So pretty much in 2 weeks we're going to be out if I do not do something drastic. This just, again, I have my budget, and I do want, before people start, calling CPS and saying, these people have no food. Don't worry, we have savings, and I know everybody doesn't have savings, but again, I'm breaking this down. I'm looking at a realistic budget for next month because that's important to me. It's important to me for me to have a complete and total look. And I, again, just broke everything down for you, step by step, for something for you to do for your family. And like I had talked about in the beginning of this video, it is so, so important to know your finances and know where you're spending, and just pray. Pray that God will help you every month. Pray that you will use your money wisely, use what God has given you wisely. I know that this would be scary for some people right now, just looking at the numbers and everything, but I have done this so many times, I am not worried at all. And this is going to give us a realistic look. If I did not have these side jobs, it would be clear to me why we're going into debt every month. And in those videos that are going to be forthcoming, I explained why, when we were going to Dave Ramsey, why we were just so discouraged. And we were in a similar situation here with less kids. Now we have more kids and in a similar situation. I wanted to show this to you because, remember, this is September's budget with August's money. I know what to expect next month. This is why this method has worked out so well for us. It's not easy to be this vulnerable, but this is important to me. These skills that I want to show you, that I want to teach you how to do, this is important to me for others to know. Because I was in that position of I don't understand. And like I said, I think our world is rapidly changing, and it'll be interesting to see where we go forward. And I want to give the tools to somebody out there to be able to do this. I'm going to leave this. I just kind of showed you how we did our budget. You need to go over your own finances, and you need to figure out where you're spending money. That's the number one thing. I know not everybody's going to have a small amount like this. Some of your bills aren't going to be as large as this or as small as this. I understand, and I'm hoping that everything just balances out. Again, things like this, I put this down here. I need to know what I need to pull out weekly for a sibling. I know I've been very stressed, so my nails are not the prettiest right now. I was tie-dyeing and then chewing, and just they're now emphasized how stressful life is right now. So I put this down because, again, I need to know, I need to have an idea of what is coming out of my credit card every month. So some of these are with a credit card, and I also need to know what to pull out of checking every month or every week. Okay, also too, with this, I told you this month my groceries are $4.24, and I have been withdrawing a certain amount every week. So again, during the summer, my husband had a full-time job, and we had a little bit more income, and so it was easier for me to just pull money out every week because it was significantly more than what we were making now. Now that I have a little bit less money every week, and I have a monthly budget, and I have a couple of ideas on how I'm going to do things, I might be able to withdraw this whole amount at the beginning of the month and then just try and I don't know. I'm not sure I'm convinced enough that I wouldn't run out really quickly if I had all that money with me, if I only bring a certain amount of cash with me and leave the credit card at home. Like, it's easy to pull out that credit card when you're in a pinch, right? I think that would be better. And look at this. This is $100 a week, and I have already spent that today. So, and I'm supposed to be kind of planning ahead for the future. So, again, here is your step one I'm sharing with you, and I will be taking this. We're gonna walk through this together, and we're gonna see how this works. Again, some of these things I cannot negotiate on. Internet, I need the internet. I know that's crazy, but that's actually one way I'm bringing in money. Our phones, those are debatable. However, right now, that is the only way of communication we have. And we have looked at just going back to landlines and just doing things that way, but it's not that much cheaper. I think it's only $20 more for us to have a cell phone. For us, saving that $20 and then being able to do things on my phone with my work works out really well, and then I can also use that as a tax write-off. Things that I would quit, and my sister knows that I would, this would be cut out, which is one reason why she steps up and does that. But if she didn't, we wouldn't do it, and that's fine. But because she has graciously said she will pay for these, I let her do that. And gasoline, no, we don't have to go to the homeschool day, but honestly, that is pretty much our only socialization here, and gives my kids opportunities to actually have friends. I don't know. Miscellaneous. There is no money for miscellaneous, which means no coffee for Mama this month. Mama is not gonna go get a pumpkin spice. That's fine. Like, Mama needs to lose the weight. Mama, I feel like I'm singing a weird song. Miscellaneous would be things like clothing that we need. Right now we do, only one child really needs stuff for the winter. But thankfully right now we can just bundle up with sweaters. So I'm not going to be too worried about that. And we did just get her a couple of pants for the winter. So the only thing she really needs is long sleeve shirts. But we've got sweaters that we can put over the ones we have. So I'm not too worried. I'm not really trying to justify everything. I'm actually trying to think, is there anything that other people might have that I don't have on here? Medical insurance. This is just our car. I think this is just our car. We don't have house insurance until next year, just because of how it was set up. And so next year will be really fun to figure out. But some people might have medical insurance, but even if we had the cash for it, because of our income bracket, trying to get insurance, we just the state automatically puts us in this default category of state-funded health care. So that's what we have. We don't have health insurance. We just get whatever the state allows us to have. I think that's it. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if this method is going to be helpful to you. Okay, well, I was raw and real, and gonna just start sharing with you and showing what we do. I'm no Jordan Page. I'm no Crystal Payne. I'm just a mom trying to figure this life out. And I've done it before. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, but here we go. We'll do it again. And this time I'll get to share it with you, because I had so many people asking me in my real life how I was doing it and wanting to know. So now I'll have the videos to show you, and then I can explain it once and share a million times. All right. Well, let's just see where we go from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.